Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here this week. First thing is first. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Turner Dairy Farms, the creators of Turner's Premium Iced Tea and limited edition flavored milks. Currently, we have a brand new limited edition flavored out right now. Chocolate Banana is on the shelves anywhere they carry Turner's products. If you do not know if your local bodega carries a limited edition product, you can go on turnerdairy.net, top right on the locate us, and put in your zip code, and you already know it'll populate a list of places, and under there you will be able to find limited edition carriers. You know, the people that are, you could find the plug. You know what I mean? You could find the people that got that good shit on deck. Like I said, if you're in the Washington County area, I believe the Cohens carry them. You know, the one that I go to, they got that Chocolate Banana on deck. I have a half gallon of it, and I bought it because there was only 1/2 gallon left. It's in my fridge. Every time I walk by it, I hear this whisper that's like, "Come have a sip." And I try to fight it off because I know it's delicious and I know it's dangerous. I'll put down 2 cups of it, no problem at all. But man, we got a good episode this week coming up. I've been having a great week myself. Me and my wife just had a little trip, went to Elkton, Virginia. You know, a nice little romantic getaway, just shut off from the world. We were gone from Sunday until today. I just got home a little bit ago, but man, so nice. Cabin in the woods, took both the Rugrats, both dogs, I mean, and, you know, we just hung out there. You know, had a fire in this, not a fire in the house, but a fireplace in this little cabin, a hot tub on the back deck. It was secluded. You know, we just hung out and watched movies, and I couldn't ask for anything else. I feel recharged. I feel great. You know, I was riding the wave of last week's episode. Last week I sat down with Seven Springs, and I mean, come on now. One of the best, you know, highly reviewed, you know, people were into it. I was getting messages there all day talking about it, and it was a hell of an episode. You know, I'm out here putting some good shit out. You know, I'm trying to at least. But this week, I got another banger of an episode for you. If you love pizza, if you love pasta, if you love bread, I mean, those are 3 things that everyone really loves. I sit down with Dave Anoia. Dave Anoia is a chef and business owner, and, you know, he has a trifecta of just like, you know, banging ass places in the city of Pittsburgh. So Dave and I sit down and we talk about everything from what it is to be you know, how he got into food, what it is to be a chef, and then how he became a business owner, because he owns DiAnoia's Eatery, which is a delicious Italian food establishment down in the Strip. He owns Pizzeria Davide, which has multiple locations. He got one in the Strip behind DiAnoia's. He got one up in Robinson. He got one in Carnegie. I cannot remember if he said he had another one. And then Pane, Pronto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that 100% right. Pane, Pronto. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. God, I'm unprofessional. But that is another bakery down in the city, and, you know, you're pumping out loaves, pumping out baguettes, you know, all the good stuff that you could ever want. But this week, Dave and I sit down and we get into everything. We get into how, you know, someone from Central PA, he grew up in Lebanon, PA, you know, how he got to Pittsburgh and how he ended up opening these 3, you know, fine establishments. And like I said, I'm sure everyone knows about them. It's an award-winning, I believe Dave won Best Chef from Pittsburgh City Paper. I believe DiAnoia's won multiple awards. Let me see if I can just pull that up real quick because I'm a professional. Oh yeah, Best Italian Restaurant, they got first place, DiAnoia's. Best Chef, Dave Anoia, yep. Best Restaurant Dessert, DiAnoia's got first place. Best Place to Celebrate Your Birthday, another first place. And Best Restaurant, Downtown and Strip District, they got second place. So he got 4 first place accolades and 1 second place accolade. I mean, what more could you want for accolades? But if you have not yet tried any of these places, please crawl out from under one of the bridges in this city. Hopefully you weren't under the Frick Park Bridge. Oh, a little bit too soon. But You got to try his food if you haven't, and I am someone who I've had takeout from DiAnoia's numerous times. I've had Pizzeria Davide numerous times, and I have never been into DiAnoia's, but I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna go down there soon enough and get the full experience of it all. But another great episode. I won't talk your ear off too much, but I'm just excited. You know what I mean? I'm excited about it. We're out here killing it every week. We got good ass episodes coming, and I'm just. I'm thankful for all the support. So without further ado, episode 196 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Dave Anoia from DiAnoia's, from Pizzeria Davide, and from Pane e Pronto. Yeah. Okay. You ever do anything like this?
Nope.
Never?
No.
You excited about it? Or are you nervous?
No, I'm excited.
Are you
if it was on TV, I'd be a little nervous, but
well, honestly, that's why I don't do video.
Yeah.
I've had a constant struggle if I wanted to kind of migrate into video because everyone's watching YouTube and shit, but I find it to be me personally, it's I don't want to be on video having to worry about my fucking hair and stuff.
I hate it.
Yeah. It's no good at all, but how's that sound?
Sounds good.
Good?
Yep.
All right, well, let's jump into it.
Alrighty.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. There you go. Now we're here. It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
I've been searching for you guys for a while. I've been after it for a while, ever since I had your food.
Well, you got us now.
Pretty blown away by it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, how long have you been around?
2016.
That's when you guys
November.
opened?
Yep. So
I'm
five
pushing this
years
up.
now.
Forgive me.
Gotcha.
5 years ripping down there, in the strip.
Yep.
What is was that your first? I don't really know shit about you. I know that you own DiAnoia's. I know that. So first off, how do you pronounce it? Pizza Davide or
Pizzeria Davide.
Davide?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. See, I was right.
Yeah.
Me and my wife have a constant. We didn't know how to pronounce it really because I've heard both ways. I've heard David Pizza.
Yep.
And then Davide.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we get a lot.
Well, I think that I usually try to figure out how I came across people, and I don't know if I had DiAnoia's first or the pizza first, but I think it was I think it actually was a pandemic, maybe one of the take home meals,
right,
a porchetta maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
Like a whole family meal.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because what we were trying to do is me and my wife were just stuck at home, so we were just trying to order out from people. I got friends that own restaurants and, they were doing, everyone was pivoting and trying to make some shit happen.
Well, thank you for that because that kept us in business. So
absolutely. I loved that whole idea from the restaurant point of view. One of my best friends owns Streets on Carson and they had a Sunday dinner that they were doing. And I thought it was such a cool idea to see all these different restaurants kind of figure some shit out.
Yeah, it was pivot after pivot. We went from being open 100% to being open 25% to only being able to do takeout to not being able to seat people inside to back to 25%. It was a crazy time. So, I think the more that we pivoted, the more people wanted to come back and try something new and kind of exciting for that time when things weren't exciting.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Do you think that the pandemic made people more patient?
No.
No?
No. I unfortunately, I think a little bit of both, but definitely now we see some people who definitely aren't as patient, and then definitely some, like you just said, that are a lot more patient. But I think it's a mix, to be honest with you.
It's interesting because I hear, I've probably interviewed 10 different restaurant owners since the pandemic started, and it's such like a wild ride to hear from like the beginning of it, because whenever the pandemic started, I was doing phone interviews because I didn't know if this was going to be a zombie virus type shit.
Right.
It was crazy at first. You're just like, this is really insane. So I was just calling people, and I remember I did like my 5 favorite like small businesses, and I was hearing how people were like trying to learn this shit in real time, and it was like such like a stressful thing for me to even be like, just a patron to them, because you're like, Jesus, like everything seems so like uncertain, and you're just like, how is this happening? What can you do? Shit's closed down.
Yeah, I mean, we literally every week was, like I said, something different, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make your next dollar, because you had no idea if you were going to get shut down. You had no idea if you were going to be able to see people in the restaurant. That really brought about the takeout meals and everything, because we knew if we stayed safe in the restaurant, we'd be able to do the takeout meals. That's one thing that was kind of constant, that we didn't think that they would shut us down 100%. We could still have people, even if they stayed in their car, we could still drop meals in their car.
Yeah, make something happen.
Right.
What is like, I feel like everyone that I've asked, there wasn't really like a person that was like, putting out updated guidelines to like, restauranters, right?
No.
Like I was like, how are you guys figuring this out? Or like,
5 o'clock
the
news,
dude.
5 o'clock news.
It's crazy. And I, talking to people, like some people I heard saying, it's weird because before I was one of them people was like, I want shipping immediately. We're just living in this world that's like everything will be here next day. Amazon Prime and shit.
Yep.
And it's terrible because it's like we're spoiled. So, the pandemic happens and like all this shit happens where you can't get stuff in, and it's like, months delayed, whether it be like even like food, I'm sure, but like printing t-shirts, like people were like, doing pre-orders, and it's like 4 or 5, I waited like 6 months for a hat, and it's like, you were kind of just forced to exercise some patience, whether you'd like to or not.
Yep. I think, in that aspect, definitely taught people a lot of patience, and the aspect you're talking about, with food, we get a lot of our food in when we can. Now the prices are completely jacked up and inflated, obviously. But we're getting most of it. The stuff from Italy and everything, that's taken a little longer. That's a lot more expensive. But if we order something, most of the time we can get it. It's just a matter of how long. It's not as long as t-shirts and things like that. But things like to-go containers and plastics, those have exploded in price. Almost monopolized, and you're like, how the hell can they charge this much for it? And
it's crazy. It's like supply and demand type shit. It's
exactly.
Like people buying all the hand sanitizer and charging $12 for like you're just like
2 ounces.
Yeah, this is insane. It's wild to even think about all that. So before, I want to know where all this came from. So like, where did you grow up in Pittsburgh?
No, I grew up in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. So Central PA. Yep.
Central.
Yeah.
What brings you out here?
I came out for work, 2007. My boss at the time, Brian Pekarsik, who owned Spoon, he moved out from San Diego. I worked with him out there. And he called me and said, he's moving his family back from San Diego to Pittsburgh and needed a sous chef. So I was in Ocean City, Maryland. I packed up, drove my 91 Honda Accord out to Pittsburgh. Had never been here before.
Never
Even came, visited, just said, screw it, I'm coming out. I'm going to roll the dice.
What year was this?
2007.
2007.
Yep.
Not a bad year.
Not a bad year.
Not a bad year. Penguins were about to win the cup and everything.
Yeah.
So, if you're from Central PA, have you always been in food?
Yes, my whole life, yeah.
And that, so as a young kid, was food something you wanted to do, or was that something you fell into?
100%. I went to culinary school.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically my parents growing up that got me into it. My dad cooking every Sunday. I'd be in the kitchen with him. Then decided, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to school after high school.
As everyone does.
Right. So I said, what's one thing I'm decently good at? And it was cooking. And, I know there was a tech school in Williamsport called Pennsylvania College of Technology. And I had a couple friends going there. So I said, screw it, I'll go there. Got my culinary degree and then moved directly out to San Diego. Was there for 3 years and then moved back here in 2007. Then moved to Pittsburgh in end of 2007.
Wow. Back here then, huh?
Yeah.
Now, are you stereotypical Italian family? Like, all in the like every Sunday, like big gatherings?
Yeah, in a way. My dad's 100% Italian. My mom's 100% Irish. So
Oh, wow.
it was a
fun time.
big family.
Yeah.
But I'm one of 4 siblings, so there's 4 of us, and then my 2 parents. But we'd have Sunday gatherings. Absolutely,
That's cool.
My mom would cook during the week, and then my dad on the weekends. So
That's awesome. So it's cool to hear because I always say, like, you know, I interviewed like some carpentry people the other day, and I feel like 99% of the people that I have in here, I ask, like, you know, did you want to do this when you were younger? They're like, I had no idea that I was going to do this.
Right.
So it's cool to hear that, like, you were into it early.
Yep.
A lot of chefs are into it early, you know,
Yep.
like what, like whether it be from family and instilling it in you, or like, you know, TV, you know, like
Right.
Talking to people watch like Julia Childs and shit.
yes, I mean, especially these days, there's
Oh, it's
stations
crazy.
and stations just dedicated to food. So
Are you a Food Network guy? Like, are you someone that's like that?
no, I'm not.
I didn't think so.
I don't watch it a lot, just because when I do watch TV, it's usually late at night, and if I am watching something and I like it, then
Yeah.
I'll get hungry and I don't want to eat it.
I
12
know.
o'clock at night, or even make myself anything at that point.
I know we're on like a probably like a 2-month watch of all of like Hell's Kitchen and
Yeah.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Right.
I was never put on to Gordon Ramsay early. I never watched any of them shows early.
Right.
And you know, probably whenever I moved out of my parents, I started really getting into cooking myself, like just here, whether
Right.
it's grilling or anything like that. So I just obsess about food shows, and
Yeah.
you know, people put on The Office over and over and over, but I just put on like different
food shows.
shows and shit,
Yep.
and I have a good time with that. Now, for you to, you know, navigate through and, you know, want to own a restaurant, you know, is that like in your life early you wanted to do that, or does that kind of like happen after you start, you know, working in other people's restaurants?
A little bit of both. You know,
Yeah.
when I went to college, they kind of loosely groomed you to that's what you want to do. That's your final goal.
Yeah.
And I, you know, we had school projects that we did, and, you know, you had to build a restaurant, and I think mine was called An Italian Touch. So you know, early on I knew I wanted a restaurant, but I didn't know, it was a dream, you know, I want to have a restaurant,
Yeah.
right? And then you work in other people's restaurants, and you really either know you want to have a restaurant or you never want to have a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I think mine skewed towards having a restaurant, but it was always going to be Italian.
Yeah.
That was the number one. Number two, I didn't necessarily know where it was going to be. That kind of came about, luck of the draw, by just looking in a bunch of different neighborhoods.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the Strip District came about. One of our
Realtor?
real estate agent.
Yeah.
She said I had this property. We really didn't want to look in the Strip District at that time. And
Where did you have ideas to look at?
like Friendship area,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fox Chapel area.
Something a little bit more off the beaten path rather
Right.
than like the Strip. Because I feel like
Right.
that's like a different beast down there.
Well, at the time there wasn't much going on.
Oh,
in the
yeah, I
upper
guess.
Strip District. So it was kind of a ghost town, and that's what kind of scared us.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah.
you know, we took a little bit of a gamble, and
What block are you on?
26th.
26. So like, I mean, yeah, there's not too much up there.
No, I mean, when we started there, the spaghetti warehouse was still in business behind
Oh,
us.
wow.
So, you know, it was there was no condos up there. There was no real building up in that end of the strip. It was all on the other end of the strip.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it kind of just
Started
came together
it started to go.
between Lawrenceville and the strip. Created this upper strip district that we kind of know as today.
What was your building whenever they showed you it?
It was a little market called 26th Street Market.
Oh, okay.
So there was a little lunch crowd, and they were just open like 9 to 3 or something,
Yeah.
breakfast and lunch.
yeah. And you liked it from whenever you saw it?
Yeah, exactly.
What was the reasoning?
Just the whole atmosphere of it.
Yeah.
You know, the huge ceilings when you walk in.
I've never been inside because I got food to go,
Right.
and I've never got to sit inside.
You should check it out.
I
It's
know.
a- it's a-
I'll get down there.
I think one of the things that makes us unique as a restaurant is the vibe of it.
Yeah, I
So-
love it. I love going to places and sitting down and having the full experience of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's hard to do, especially you guys are
Especially
popping.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are popping.
Well, we try. You know, it's good. It's a good thing for us that we're staying busy. It's
Absolutely.
hard to get reservations, but you know, it's good. It's good on our end.
I mean, it's hard to get reservations at any restaurant, really.
Right.
Any like, you know, well-known higher end place. Like there's places that I know that I 2 months I had to put one in advance for somewhere.
Right.
We wanted to try a sushi place, and I was hearing all about it. So
Yeah.
I can hear G Jin. You ever hear that?
Gaijin. Yeah,
Gaijin?
yeah. Fantastic.
You been there?
Yeah, I have. Yep.
See, everyone was telling me
Downtown.
about it, and they're like, if you could go anywhere, because I've never been to Umami, and my buddy's always raving about that, but
Gaijin.
he's like, yo, you got to go here.
Yeah.
And so we're going there. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I
It had
think
to be
the
some
three-
random ass time. It was like a Tuesday at like 5:45 or
Yep.
some shit. at the
They tell
counter.
you what time you can come.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I remember I was clicking the calendar every time, and I was like, this is really insane.
I think I got a Thursday at 9:00 at that time.
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm taking whatever I can get, and it's good for them. You know that at that point they can if they have all their other reservations filled up, that you take what you can get, and
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that's a good thing.
It is. It's cool to see that. Like, it's. I don't know. I felt like that. During the pandemic, there was like a uprising of community to a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would see people that loved businesses that they would really frequent normally,
Right.
Kind of get behind them, whether it be like, tipping extra heavy or like just like participating in any of the pivot, moves that
Yeah.
you guys were all doing. I don't know. I love to do that. It's like, I love to try to, if I do designs for stickers and shit, anything, I try to keep it local as much as
Right.
I can.
Yeah, no, I
Got
think,
to.
and I agree 100%. We had a ton of clientele do exactly what you just said, and just tip extra heavy because of what's going on, and
Yeah.
and we're just super generous, and would reach out and just say, just even kind words, say, hey, you guys are doing such an awesome job in these times, and thank you for making sure everybody's safe and staying open and things like
yeah.
that. So, the tips are great, but those kind words, go a long way when you're getting your ass kicked and you don't
yeah.
you don't know which way is left or right at that point.
I know, it's got to be insane.
Yeah.
So Lawrenceville ended up being the place to go. Like, what was what all did you have to do to for your build outs? Was there a lot of work involved with it?
Yes and no. I don't think it was as much work as a lot of other restaurants.
Yeah.
Because it was a kind of a little cafe market before.
Yeah.
But we had to take some counters out, put a bar in. We had to get new kitchen equipment, put a hood in.
Yeah.
So there was a good amount of work, but not a lot, not as much as a full blown restaurant turned from a bank or something.
Yeah.
Our dining room build out was pretty easy. The dining room was already there. We painted. Got new furniture and fixtures and things like that.
So
But
cosmetics.
exactly, cosmetic work.
Now, for you to have this idea in your mind to when you seriously want to start doing it, stop working for someone else and
Yep.
start your own journey, how long does it take for you to get to that, to where you close on this space and
Yeah.
you start working on it?
So I think it was probably about the last year I was at Spoon in East Liberty.
Yeah.
Which was 2015 full year I was there.
Yeah.
I had known my now wife for about 3 years before that, and we were getting married in end of 2015.
Yeah.
And it was kind of at that point we knew we wanted to open the restaurant.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it was just kind of a let's look around, let's get the right place. We have the business plan, everything in place. We just need
You already
the right
have
spot.
this done. Like, you already have like the idea, the business plan, food types of food, what you want there. This was
Exactly.
all already ready to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Business plan drawn up, the food that was going to be there.
Yeah.
Kind of the style of the restaurant. Just we needed to fit it to a space.
Yeah. And then ended up setting there. And it's like, so from you closing on that building to when you open, how long does that take?
It took us about 7 to 8 months.
That's not terrible.
No, not at all. But being we did mostly cosmetic work in the front.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot longer, and a lot of restaurants take more time than that. Some take less.
For sure.
But I'd say we're probably somewhere in the middle at that 8 months.
That's not bad. So you open up, what's your mindset for you to prepare to open this restaurant? Like, are you more of the mindset where you're like, man, I hope this works out? Or are you someone that's like, this is going to work out? Like, are you a glass half full?
I'll be honest with you, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Our predictions of what we were going to do were under, so we exceeded our expectations in the end.
That's great.
but I mean, I went into it like nobody knows who I am in this profession. I mean, I think I make good food, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the reason I ask that is because it's like for you to just, especially in a place that's not pretty popping down in the strip, people don't know who you are because, if you're working at Spoon, people know the restaurant. They don't know the chefs.
Right.
A lot of the people at least. But, for you to kind of like get this going, I don't know. I feel like you could have both mindsets of it. You could just be like, I'm curious more of like how you plan on, getting people to know about your stuff. How do you plan on marketing your restaurant?
So that's where my wife comes into play. She's a marketer.
Oh, okay.
And she's one of the best. So, she's amazing at what she does. And at the beginning of this,
that was her profession.
She was the marketing director of the ballet.
Oh, cool.
Before that,
that's wild.
She's now come full time to DiAnoia's. But so I knew we had strong marketing, but still, I mean, always in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know if everybody's gonna love the food or this or that. I knew it was good myself, but I guess you don't know until you actually do it.
Yeah.
So we kind of joke but not joke and say, my wife brings people into the restaurant and I get them to come back. So,
I like that.
Nobody's old school restaurants where if you make good food, people will come.
Yeah.
Now it's something has to get people in the restaurants,
100%.
and that's where the marketing comes in, the social media, all that stuff. So she brings them in, we make the food. The food's good. People come back.
Yeah. How old are you?
38.
38. So are you someone that before this, or were you a social media person?
No.
Okay. So the reason I ask that is because I think it's so fascinating because like social media is such a huge thing now. It's like if your business don't have an Instagram, you're pretty much screwed.
Absolutely.
For me, if whoever I'm looking at, I go to their Instagram or Facebook, make sure they're not a piece of shit, and then I'll ask them to come on. But
100%.
It's always interesting whenever someone who's just like, I have no desire to do any of this. Is diving into a business knowing that they don't want to do any of this end of it and giving away that kind of control.
Like I said, that's how it used to be before social media, or even when social media was just a baby.
Yeah.
But now you have to have such a strong presence because everybody else does. If everybody's getting this free advertising and it's in front of millions of people, well, people aren't going to be like, let's go to this one that I heard about. They're going to look, and just like you said, they're going to check out the social media, see what's popping on it, and then go to that place.
I believe that even before I got your food from the pandemic, I saw you on one of them social media food pages for like, was
Thrillist?
That might have been it. Was it the gnocchi and
the gnocchi bread bowl?
Yeah. I remember seeing that and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to die if I go here because like, I that's like right up my alley. Like whether it be like some Panera shit with soup and you're like having that bread.
The bread bowl. Yep.
I love bread. I'm real into it. So I remember seeing that at first and then I was like, we got to get around to trying that. And then the porchetta definitely brought us back.
Yeah. The porchetta is probably one of the best things we make. It's phenomenal. The gnocchi bread bowl came about. That was another one of my wife's ideas. Also, you see ideas on social media and you recreate them into your own,
That's what's so weird. I went to a place in the city that I won't name because I was super underwhelmed with it, but it's some regarded fucking restaurant. But Instagrammable meals is like part of like, in my mind, I feel like some chefs like keep that in their mind. It's like if it looks good and shit like that, you can take pictures. Like, are you conscious of that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's changed since DiAnoia's opened. That's how things are now.
It wasn't like that before?
It wasn't like that before I worked at DiAnoia's. No, it was like I say, and it's more, let's make good food and the people will come. Marketing might come from different angles, but not social media. And now
people want a portion of spaghetti and a big ass wheel of cheese mixed around and then tossed in there.
And just like you were saying about the bread bowl, it's super photogenic. It's enormous. It's cheesy. You got those cheese pulls that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
Everything like that. And it's I think, not to toot my own horn, but I think that video got like 8 million views. And
I remember it being a lot.
First, like couple days it was out, and I was like, I had no idea it was going to be even anything that was even close to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a weird beast, you know, Instagram. I used to be, you know, in my younger years, I'm 30, about to be 32, but it's like I used to be obsessed with my phone to where I would have to be on it at all times. And like, you know, if my phone died, but now it's just like, I don't give a shit about it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right. I'm on it a lot for work, and I hate that I'm on it that much. I really dislike it. But
and Apple's shitty because they're like, this is your weekly report. You were on here for 8.5 hours. And
exactly.
You're like, oh my God, it made me feel worse.
10% more than last week.
Yeah. You're like, Jesus. So, I mean, as someone who's preparing a restaurant, it's like, how do you decide? And I came to this conclusion later in life, thanks to Gordon Ramsay. So I see people that had restaurants, and I remember looking at menus of like local places where I grew up. They'd have 1,000 things on their menu.
Right.
And I'd be like, that's kind of sick that like you can get whatever you want. Steak, anything from steak to like enchiladas.
Yep.
And you're like, now in my later years and watching Gordon Ramsay flip out on people, and it's like, why are you spreading yourself thin? You're going to do all this mediocre. Just do a couple things very well. How does someone develop a menu? You know, I'm sure that you like things personally that might not be the best seller. So where does that come into play in your mind?
There's a lot of things that come into play when you do a menu. There's how a dish looks.
Yeah.
There's how it tastes. There's what it looks like on the plate, and I call it sellability.
Yeah.
So how's it going to sell? Because you can make the best dish in the world, and if it doesn't sell, you know, is it really the best dish because people aren't eating it?
Yeah.
So, but to draw up a menu, you know, you have some vegetarian, you have some with meat, you have chicken, fish. You want to touch all the bases.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't agree more with Gordon Ramsay. You can't have a Cheesecake Factory menu and everybody succeed. Cheesecake Factory.
That's a perfect example. They have a menu that is like 4 pages long, and it's insane. And it's all small font. You're like, Jesus. I couldn't even imagine what that kitchen looked like back there.
I have no idea, but it's got
how many
huge.
seats? How many seats does DiAnoia's?
We're at about 95.
95. What do you think cheesecake is?
320 or something.
That's insane.
It's insane.
I filled in at Streets on Carson for a weekend. Yeah. He has like 50 or 60, and like I can't even comprehend it to be in there. So a big kitchen, insane to me.
Yeah, and shout out to them. They got an awesome cheesesteak.
Oh,
they're good dudes.
Love the cheesesteak. Yeah. I'm a big fan of him. You got to come to the party. I'm throwing a party there for the 200th episode.
Okay.
March 24th. This is the first time anyone's going to hear about it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Make it happen. But so you build this menu, and you have, you know, obviously your things that you have to take in consideration. You want to touch all the bases, the cost, you know, how it's going to work. You know, for you, whenever you started this menu to what you trimmed it down to, you know, was there a lot of trimming that you had to like cut out?
Well, when we first opened, the menu's almost the same exact size.
Yeah.
But obviously there's been a lot of reiterations of that menu.
Yeah.
There's only a few things there's probably 5 or 6 items on that menu that are the same from day one.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that we look at when we do a menu. It's, you know, there's our gnocchi, our cacio pepe, our bread bowl was not on day one, but our gnocchi, our cacio pepe, our steak, porchetta, fish, greens and beans, meatballs, cauliflower. There's 8 or 9 items that have stayed on since day one, and those are items that we can't take off, otherwise people will get pissed off.
Yeah, the pillars.
Yeah. Now everything else, then that's when you know, we have chefs there, and they can create dishes, and we all taste everything and make sure it's, you know, to the liking of all of us, but you know, goes with the concept of the restaurant, and then we put it on the menu. So there are more seasonal items that go on, about 5 or 6 different pastas, a couple
like
appetizers,
pumpkin type stuff. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, have you had the pumpkin bread bowl?
No.
Or the gnocchi and the pumpkin?
I haven't. I've had the regular gnocchi. I've had the porchetta. I've had the pizza. I mean, 50 times probably. I'm a big fan of the style of pizza you do. I love the bologna.
Yeah.
Like that's something that, like, you know, I used to be a creature of habit. Buffalo chicken anywhere I went in the world, you know, chicken tenders even anywhere in the world. Right. You know, just my regular shit. And I'm just like, you know, I'm not just going to get a pepperoni. You know,
right.
I'm going to get this. We're going to see how it is. Me and my wife are like, you know, we open it up and we see them slices on there. Like, what the hell is this about to be? Banging.
like like a summer sausage.
Absolutely
smoked.
bang. That's exactly it. It's like I was like, this is going to taste like Eckert's garlic bologna, and I was like, this is the exact opposite of what I would have thought.
Yeah, so that bologna is from where I grew up. That's Lebanon bologna. That's what my hometown's famous for. On New Year's Eve, they drop a big bologna in the middle of the town.
Oh my! So they make that bologna up there?
Yeah, it's called Lebanon sweet bologna. It's from Seltzer's. It's a fantastic product, and it's all naturally smoked. They still do everything the way they did it back in the early 1900s.
I'm about to hit them up to get them on here.
It's awesome. They check their Instagram out. They got a really good Instagram, real funny Instagram.
Wow, you think they would do this?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen, dude. I've been getting some insane things. Interviewed Valentine Carpentry. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I'm not.
Unreal furniture makers in the city, right out of South Side.
Okay.
Husband and wife team. Fucking kill it.
Yeah.
They put me onto this dude who just like was a business guy whose father owned this old school sawmill in Punxsutawney. This dude was a business dude, went away. I guess the father passed away. The shit was shut down for a minute. Yeah. Came back and just revitalized it. He's running an old school sawmill.
That's awesome.
So he put me in contact with him. I'm about to go up there and tour it and check it out.
That's great.
It's like Mike Jobs. This is my goal in life.
Yeah.
But so what were we even talking about? I got off in a crazy tangent.
Lebanon sweet bologna.
Yeah, Lebanon sweet bologna. Crazy. Yep. But yeah, we were talking about like the menu and all the pillars of what we, kept, what you wanted to keep on there because people would get pissed.
Yeah, so
it's the truth.
It's twofold because you want to keep everything that people love, but at the same time, if you have your employees and your chefs and everybody working, you want to keep it fresh for them. You don't want to come in and do the same exact thing every day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be
Denny's Grand Slam with your eyes
exactly.
closed.
Yep. You're working on an assembly line essentially, and I don't think a lot of people want that these days. So.
Are you someone that's more of a being like the owner? This is your baby, obviously, your restaurant. Are you someone who's a control freak?
No, I give a lot of control to the people that work for us.
That's cool.
I like to see everything, but I also give them the ability to make decisions and do what's right for the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think as a manager and somebody in those positions, it's important to make decisions and then live with that decision, and either it's the right or the wrong one, and then we could talk about it if it's the wrong one, but you can't be scared to make those decisions because I don't. That's why you're there. I don't want to make all of them. Yeah,
you're the one that's. you want to add in some of the creativity of it, and I'll filter out what I don't think is going to be good, but I want all that creativity.
Exactly, and if I make every decision, then no
one wants to work for you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be there 48 hours a day.
Exactly, that's a good point. Now, for you to, like kind of prepare for this, and kind of, I obviously interviewed Muddy Waters, and I was like, how do you even prepare to run an oyster bar, because shit's just gonna go bad. It's like, for you to open this restaurant, what's your mindset on how to prepare for the ingredients? Obviously, you have experience in a kitchen.
Yeah.
You kind of have an idea, but for you to start that out, it's like, what was your ideas with that?
Do you mean the individual ingredients in the dishes, or
well just even like how how you prepared to to open your business, to open your restaurant? It's like, how do you make a prediction on how many people are going to be there? Not waste a bunch of shit. Yep. How much shit should I make?
So it's really an educated guess.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but for the first night that you're open, you say, okay, I'm going to sell 20 of these, 10 of these, 15 of these, and you prep that amount.
Did you do a soft opening?
We did, I think, for 3 days.
Like a friends and family type thing before?
For 2 to 3 days. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, there was a soft opening.
And is that pretty pivotal to kind of get 100%. Your reps in?
Yeah, because you either do it for invite friends and family, do it at no cost, or do 50% off or 75% off. But people know that their stuff's going to be messed up because it's practice.
They're learning, yeah.
That's what it gives us the opportunity to mess up and fix it, and figure out what's right, and even figure out different things that you're not going to know going into it.
I would take a poorly plated porchetta for a discounted price, no problem at all.
Hell yeah. But so with that being said, the you start off, you have 20 of one thing, 15 of the next, and
Yeah.
you might not sell any.
Yeah.
And then, but the next day you're not prepping it. And then you're always changing your pars though. So then in 3 days you say, okay, now I got to only make 3 of these a day because that's all we're selling.
Yeah.
If you're only selling 3 a day, it's probably coming off the menu soon. So
makes sense.
It's also, once you see what you're selling and what you're not selling, you're really pulling things off the menu. You're changing them, because if it's not selling, like I said before, if it's not selling and it's the best dish you ever made, is it really the best dish you ever made?
The first couple months are probably pretty forgiving as far as like menu items, because like people aren't really familiar with everything, so you could pull whatever, put back in whatever,
Absolutely.
switch around.
Yep.
That makes sense. What about the bread? Italian restaurants, the bread is pivotal.
Yep.
Do you guys bake your own bread?
We do. We have we now have our own bakery a block away from DiAnoia's called Pane Pronto.
Wild Science bread?
He was there. He opened it with us. He's not there anymore, but he was there. He was there for a couple years.
Yeah, I think that's where I don't know if I knew that was under you guys.
Yep, that's our little sister bakery.
Wow, were you a baker of trade?
I am not.
No,
it's different. I'm definitely not a baker.
It's different. It's science and art.
It's 100%. That I'm not a pastry chef, and I'm not a baker. I'll leave that to the experts. And I have a great bakery team, and pastry team right now that do a fantastic job. All our bread's baked in house. We wholesale to a couple different clients in the city. Pastry, same thing. Everything's done in house, and then we got a couple different clients that buy from us on that aspect too.
It's definitely a different world. I became a quarantine sourdough baker as the rest of the world.
Yeah,
and I got pretty damn good at it. But it's like compared to regular cooking, it's literally just science compared to an art project.
It's 100% science.
Yeah,
you
unforgiving.
It's crazy how people get it the exact same every day, because when you're working with wild yeast and everything like that, there's so many different variables that come into play, but it's exciting to see. I'm very happy.
You just have like a gym trash can full of dough that's just bubbling. You're just like, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, people have starters that are hundreds of years old, and you feed them and you use it and you put some more in, and it's just crazy to think about.
It is pretty wild.
In 1900, this thing was started somewhere, whether it's in Europe or elsewhere, but it's just crazy to think about.
It is. For you to, open this restaurant, was the idea, because that's a pretty big factor, like the bread and everything. Like, is that something that you took on in the beginning immediately? Like baking your own stuff? Like, that was all just like very important to do?
Absolutely. That was kind of one of our concepts. Everything was done in-house, and bread, as you said, being Italian, it's one of the most important things. And that's definitely something we were never going to outsource. No matter what. We had a baker who started with us when we first opened, and he did a great job with starting that program up. And we're very happy with our breakfast and lunch program, and a lot revolves around the bread with our Kaiser rolls and our egg sandwiches and our Filonis, which are our hoagie rolls. Or
what are they called? Rolls.
Filonis. Yep, it's an Italian. The Italian word for like hoagie bread or sub bread.
Huh. So, learn something new every day.
There you go. Write that one down. You probably never use that one again.
I know, it's crazy. It's like I listen to people tell me about their lives, and I try to remember like the technical end of it all, like whether I'm talking to a beekeeper or something. Yeah. I'm just like, damn, I just don't have enough capacity in my brain to remember it all.
Or you're talking to so many different people. There's so many different angles coming at you.
It is. It's pretty wild. But it's fun to be able to like meet people like you and like kind of figure out how things like, what makes your brain work, because really this is just a cheat sheet for me to, become successful my own way.
Love it.
That's what I try to do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is your wife a cook?
She is like an at-home cook.
Yeah, that's
she's
what I mean.
Fantastic cook.
That's what's up. That's good. Yeah. So it kind of carries over in the family. You got children?
We have an 11-month-old. She'll be one next month.
You gonna cultivate that chef bone in the body?
Probably not. No, she's going to be a plumber or electrician.
Now, for you two, you have this successful restaurant, you guys are killing it, obviously. When does the idea for pizza to come in? Did you start pizza at DiAnoia's?
We started the pizza at DiAnoia's.
Okay.
There was one pizza. You could get it plain, or actually there was different toppings, but it was just at lunch. So you get it plain or with mushrooms or supersada. a couple other toppings, copasecca, prosciutto, and arugula. And it was a hit. It was an 18-inch pizza, one size. Just did it at lunch. It was so much of a hit that in 2018 we said we got to open Pizzeria Davide with this style pizza and just do a whole concept around our old world pizza.
Yeah. Now for you to, obviously the pizza dough is, it's pivotal. You guys have a great pizza dough. Very, very good. Now, like what was the learning curve for you to upscale that? Was it difficult or was it all right?
It was a little difficult, but we always did a little amount, and then you just scale it up in this same ratio up to what you need.
Yeah.
But I was at Three Brothers in Ocean City, Maryland for a summer, and kind of learned that pizza dough there, and took that, but then made it a little more sourdoughy.
Yeah.
And used a starter, did an extra day of fermentation, and got to where we're at now.
You're telling me your bare bones of your doughs from Three Doughs from Three Brothers in Ocean City.
The very
the mechanics
base.
of the you're obviously adding your own in, but that's just wild to think about. I had it this summer.
Oh, did you?
I think so.
On 114th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Is that the one that has a bunch of them?
I think there's a couple. There's one in Baltimore. There's some down in Ocean City. But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I mean, I'm not one of them people that I like all pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not really a crazy, I'm not a big critique. My wife is a huge critique. I'll eat pretty much whatever.
Right.
I have my opinions, obviously, but, I just enjoy pizza. But how did you get the spot right? I mean, you have a unique location.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Did you just build off the back of it, or convert that?
The pizzeria now, as it sits, was always a storage room. So we held all our extra plates, all our extra to-go containers, anything dry storage was always in that back room. Then we took over upstairs at our space, and that then became the storage for everything. So when we decided we were going to do this, we knew we had about 800 square feet. So we could put a kitchen, but we couldn't really put a dining room.
Yeah.
So we put in the kitchen, put in a little catering kitchen that would service upstairs at our Julietta room is our catering room, our events room.
Oh, okay.
So that back room does the pizzeria and the events upstairs. But the pizzeria was all out of about 800 square foot storage room that we transformed with a hood into a takeout pizza window.
My goodness. What kind of, are you someone that is, did you develop this pizza, or did you, was this kind of like the idea and then you had other people kind of develop it, a certain way? Are you a pizza guy? I know there's a beauty to it.
So the dough is like five people deep, but initially it was our idea. We put it on the menu. We had the pizza that we had at DiAnoia's, and then we started transforming the dough a little bit into to make it a little more accessible as to be a full-time pizzeria instead of just a 9 to 3 lunch spot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It took some tweaking of that recipe to get to exactly where it is now.
And now you have another location in Robinson.
In Robinson and in Carnegie.
Another one in Carnegie?
Yep.
When did that open?
February of 2021.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, right on Second Ave.
Just spreading your wings, huh?
Trying to fly.
Now, for you to, are you just you're in the restaurant every day? Are you all the way in there, or do you got other people working now?
Yeah, I'm usually in there during the day now. I took some time during COVID and spent it with my wife and daughter, but I'm pretty much back full time in the restaurant daily.
You love it?
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's wild because it's like a chaotic, environment. I'm sure. Just high stress. Not even chaotic, but just like high stress.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up, and it's a beauty to see I never liked Hell's Kitchen, but now I'm fascinated with the mechanics of a kitchen. Making things come out in time,
right?
Making things, making sure shit's all right. Obviously, Gordon Ramsay, emphasizes the flaws in things and throws plates off a wall.
Yep.
But it's
Yep.
I'm sure it's wild as hell.
It definitely is. It's a wild ride. It's so much fun. I couldn't never imagine working a 9 to 5 and sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day and pushing papers or whatever other job that you're not on your feet.
It's
But
really not the best.
No. I need to be up. I need to be walking around. I need to be talking to people, and a restaurant kind of fulfills all that.
Yeah. What's your process of like sourcing ingredients? Like how do you go about finding what you want and getting them? I know we talked about it a little bit before, but you said you have stuff coming from like Italy and things like that. How do you even find, the different ingredients? Just research?
So, yeah, absolutely. There's some that is 100% research. You go out on your own and you do the research, you find what you want, and you get it, whether you have to call the importer or whoever, you get what you want at that point by doing that research. But there's also a lot that we have, our normal restaurant purveyors, like we use a lot of Penmac in the Strip District, Courtesy out of Eatery, Monteverde's, Samuel's for seafood. So, we call them and say, hey, I have this idea. What kind of fish do you have for it? Or what kind of steak do you have if I want to do, ossobuco or whatever it is that you want to do. You see what the price is, and they will kind of tell you, what they have in your price range and everything.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. What is, now for you to kind of be where you are, you guys are obviously well established. You're a well-oiled machine right now. Do you have, like, what are your goals? Obviously shit's going pretty well, but what are the goals? Do you have future goals, or you just want to keep churning it out?
Well, right now we're going to keep churning it out for now.
Yeah.
I think our goals haven't necessarily changed with COVID, but maybe put a pause button on what those would have been without COVID.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there was a lot of things we wanted to expand the pizzeria more than it is now, but with COVID, it's just been it's been a toll. It's not only with customers and people. We didn't really have a base in Robinson and Carnegie when we went, because both of them are COVID babies. So we're trying to really gain a base there. But also, it's just the crazy time with employees being out sick and everything like that. That it's just a toll on everybody. The other employees have to step in to fill those roles at that point when other people are out. So we're just kind of, I think, putting a little pause button on what we're doing now. Really getting ourselves back to getting the strip district locations up and running 100% and everything like that, and then we'll go from there.
Slow and steady. Keep it onward.
Yep.
That's what it is. Why not? Why wouldn't it be, no reason to get too crazy into it, keep it, I don't know. It's such a weird time because it feels like that this, I guess it's like almost 2.5 years, right? I mean, it's crazy to think about that. All this was like,
2 years.
Yeah. It's like, it's weird. It's just like that whole blur of time is, it's just pretty crazy to think about it. What do you do when you're not, being a chef, like what do you like to do?
Well, right now, spend time with my daughter.
Yeah.
And my wife.
Obviously,
yeah.
What are your hobbies?
I like to play soccer.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like
soccer
to get
player.
out and kick the ball around.
All right. Are you a futsal person?
I used to be. I haven't played in a long time, but I used to be.
That's what's up. It's a different. I've only filled in a couple times for people as a goalkeeper. I was never a soccer player, but my brother and my cousins play adult league. They still play to this day. But I played goalie in hockey. Give me a call and they'll go, you got someone.
It's pretty similar, especially futsal with the small ball.
It's not the same whenever you're playing someone that was recruited from Africa to play on Point Park's team.
Really?
Oh yeah, I pulled up and they were like, hey, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to go good for you tonight. They were like, his name is Francis. They literally flew him over from Africa to come and play.
Yeah.
He's nasty.
Yeah.
And I looked like a twister board. I was just getting, they didn't have no goalie gloves for me. I was just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think that was the last time I played. No, I was pissed. I was real mad.
Why'd you call me?
I think we lost. I swear to God, it was probably like 14-3.
Yeah.
I was just getting shit on.
Oh, man.
It's all right. You live and you learn. It's a fun story.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
So soccer, I mean, like now for you to, got this restaurant, got the pizza place, are you someone that finds yourself still enjoying cooking at home and doing all that, or does it get kind of annoying?
A little bit of both. So I love cooking when we have people over and for parties and things like that.
Yeah.
But the everyday come home and cook, I'm
Probably dead with it.
Yeah,
it's dead.
I'm over that. We order out a lot and go that route. Support the restaurants.
There you go.
And everything.
Yeah.
So
I like to use that excuse too. We got to order out and support these people.
we're gonna support somebody today.
It's like, I'm not cooking a chicken breast in this pan tonight.
Exactly. I still like it. I'd rather come home and have a beer, turn the TV on, and kind of veg out for a little bit.
100%. You're working. I mean, you want to turn your brain off a little bit. It's crazy. Are you a TV person?
I am.
What are you like? Someone that watches a lot of sports, or are you like a show, a movie person?
A little bit of both. I watch. I pretty much get into every sport. Obviously, soccer being my favorite, and then football. And but Eagles fan here.
Eagles. That's all right. I'm not a football fan whatsoever.
Okay.
Not even a Steelers fan. I just don't. I don't claim it.
There you go. And then. I get into movies and shows. Just finished Ozark the other day. Phenomenal.
I'm on the third episode of the fourth season.
So you got 4 more left.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I heard a lot of people didn't like it, but I don't dislike it yet.
I don't think you're gonna dislike. I didn't dislike it.
I've heard numerous people say it was not good, and so far it's like I'm waiting for something. It's like I'm waiting for a jump scare, but
yeah.
I like it so far. Honestly, that show gives me more anxiety than even Breaking Bad did, because I feel like that there's no comic relief, there's no mitigation of tension whatsoever.
No, and Marty's just an awkward dude. When he talks, he's just awkward.
Off.
Yep, and I don't know how he's not dead, because if you're that awkward when you're
I think that's why he's not.
Yeah,
I think that's why he's not, because he's not trying to be a snake.
Yeah,
it's very weird. But I don't know. It's different. As a chef, what is like your, do you find yourself being more of a critic around food, or more of,
I try not to be.
Yeah.
I like you said before, I think yourself, I love eating. I love going out. I love eating at my house. It doesn't matter. But I try to critique as little as I can. I usually find something I like in everything I eat. Now, if I have a real shitty experience, I'm gonna say something about it to I'll be like, to talk to my wife about it, or I'm not gonna bring it up necessarily. But
that's good. You're not a Yelp. No,
Karen. Absolutely not. No.
I feel like that every business owner and chef, that's. I mean, how much do you hate Yelp?
Oh, it's the worst.
Terrible.
It gives people a platform to bitch about.
Terrible.
I mean, almost no other profession has that. I mean, you can go on and Yelp about any profession,
anything. Literally anything.
But I think it affects the restaurant business the most. If you have a plumber or electrician or anything, other profession, beekeeper, whatever. I don't know how many people are going on and looking at the Yelp reviews before they, call this person to come out and either do some work on their plumbing or whatever
fair.
It may be.
That's fair.
Or if they are, I don't think it's as much, or it holds as much weight.
The only thing that I do with Yelp is if I Google to call a place or look at a place, I'll look at the overall out of 5 stars.
Right.
And if it's like anything above a 3, I'm cool with it. But like if it got 1 and there's a bunch of reviews, I might second guess myself. But there's nothing worse than clicking on there and seeing someone that's like verified Yelper. It's like, come on, who are you?
Right.
Like, do something with your fucking.
And
kills me.
The thing with foodies these days is everybody's a foodie. And
everyone's a foodie.
The word just kind of makes me cringe.
Blogger.
Yep, a food blogger, a foodie, and I mean it's all self-proclaimed.
Come on, you're still eating McDonald's. You're smoking cigarettes still. You don't have a palate.
You don't know what salt tastes like.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like I just feel like I have a whole different respect on things that now that like I swear to God, I feel like every person in the world. Every Yelp user in the world should have to spend time working in a kitchen, even a day,
100%.
even a day or two, because just that day or two that I worked as a food runner changed my, I mean, I was never a piece of shit, like being like, hey, my food's cold. Like, I'm not one of them people, but it like opens your eyes to like, it's a symphony up there. It's a chaotic symphony.
Exactly. It's a good way to put it. And it gives you respect for
you
what you're eating, and, you know, the people who
it.
are working. And, you know, there's a lot of people, I agree, everybody should work in the restaurant. I think a little longer, you know, a week, a month.
Yeah.
But it should be a high school, like graduate high school, or home ec. I don't even know if they have home ec anymore.
I had home ec. I graduated in 08. I had home ec.
Yeah.
I did. She sucked, but we had it. Yeah, it wasn't the best.
But I mean, if you had to work in a restaurant and have the interactions that, you know, these servers do these days, with guests, and they're not all bad. Absolutely not. But, you know, and it's problems. It's on your feet problem solving. And, you know, you have all these kind of insanely old school high school, classes that are pretty out of date, and then
dumb as hell.
You have some things like this, or you know, how to change a tire on a car, or do your taxes, or things like that they don't even teach you.
Why can't I learn how to do my taxes?
Exactly.
But instead, you know, it's a stereotypical meme. You're never gonna have a calculator in your pocket.
Yep.
And it's like, come on, bro. You know, we've been duped.
Yep.
You know, that's really what it is. We've been duped.
Yep.
You play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
It's good.
Were you someone who did you go all the way through high school, or did you go to like a VOTech type cooking?
No, I went all the way through 12th grade and then went to Pennsylvania College of Technology.
Now, how, you know, as someone who knew that they wanted to cook from a young age, how do you deal with it to like go through high school and be like, I ain't even going to worry about this shit because after school I'm going to not do this? Like, you ever have that experience?
No, but I
like school?
No, I didn't like it at all. But looking back on it, you know, now I think if, you know, a lot of, I shouldn't say this, but if you know what you know now, and that high school didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't matter I didn't even have to have an SAT score to get into the college I went to.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that, you know, they don't tell you because they don't want you to know these things, but it didn't matter what I did in high school. It didn't even matter what I did in college, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I completely failed out of college, I would be the same exact person. Well, I don't know this for a fact because it didn't happen, but in my career wise, I could be the exact same person. I wouldn't even need to go to college to be where I'm at today. A lot of chefs don't.
If I didn't fail out of college, my life would be probably not where it is now, which I would regret. I went to Slippery Rock for elementary ed and special ed, just did not give a shit about school, failed out, worked. And, you know, I was working at a machine shop, breathing in toxic shit for $10 an hour. Yep. I was like, this ain't it. Went back to school, got a 3.8.
There you go.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You got to you got to go on your own journey.
Yep. And
that's what it is.
Yeah. You know, it's hard for me to, you know, sit and tell people to go to culinary school.
Yeah.
Even though I did it.
You had a positive experience there? Or
I did because I had a college experience.
Yeah.
The culinary aspect, you know, they teach you the very basics, which, you know, if you worked at my restaurant or most other restaurants in the city of Pittsburgh, you know, as somebody coming out of high school, you're going to get a better experience than you would if you went to culinary school.
Experience over education any day of the week.
Any day of the week. And I've hired for 10 years now. I have never once looked at where somebody went to school, where, you know, if they have a college degree, if they don't, if they had a 3.8 or a 2.2. It's just, you know, in a lot of professions they do, but cooking is just it's not one of them. You hire based on what their experience have been in the profession.
Yeah.
You know, and the schooling doesn't necessarily matter. So it's hard to, you know, give people encouragement to go get $80,000 in debt.
It's wild.
And, you know, the only thing I'd say to that is if you want to go have a college experience, be away from your parents for the first, you know, 3 years and party your ass off and, you know, that kind of experience, then
more power to you.
More power to you. And go do that because, you know, you only get that chance once.
Yeah, right.
But in the same regards, it's not necessary in our profession.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about that because usually the people in the, you know, I mean, whether it be, you know, your stereotypical like cinematic version of a chef, like how chaotic you hear it is, Anthony Bourdain's like, you know, his interpretation of it and how dark it was.
Right.
You know, it's not everyone is like, you know, it's like a wild stallion, you know, not every chef is want to go to them regimented things.
Oh, you're 100% right. Now, back when he's talking about in the 80s, 70s, 80s and 90s, I mean, it was probably a
kitchen
shit
filled
show.
with drugs, you know, no regulations, you know, it's just
everything.
crazy shit, mob ran shit.
Yep.
You know.
The only important thing was that the food went out okay. It didn't matter what you did. And
now, I'm not even to cut you off, but I'm curious, you know, as a newer Italian restaurant, do you ever deal with people that are, you know, like a certain traditional way of things? Because obviously I'm sure that you keep a certain traditional beauty to the food that you're making, but like you also want to update it. Like, do you ever run into that with like some old heads or like some real traditional Italian people?
Oh, for sure. There's people who've come in and you know, said that the Zeppelis aren't real Zeppelis because they have powdered sugar on them, or you know, the gnocchis are too big, or this or that. And you know, you just I respect that because you know that generation has one kind of thought process, and that's what they think, and that's absolutely fine.
I love hearing it though.
You know, I agree. I love hearing what they think it should be, but I'm not going to change what we're doing.
Yeah,
you know, based on one or two people telling me that that's how it should be. I mean,
but it's funny to know because it's like, you know, we're just not in the world that you were in back then.
Exactly,
it's just not the same.
Yep.
Just because it was like that or supposed to be like that,
right?
Don't mean it got to be like that.
It doesn't have to be like that. Exactly. Right. And you know, we have far more customers happy,
absolutely,
than mad. You know, obviously, and these are, you know, a few memorable or unmemorable times that, you know, guests have said things like that. But you know, the times where they say, well, this isn't what I had in Italy, or you know, this or that. Now the flip side of that is when they say it's better than what I had in Italy, and it's better than what my grandma makes, and this and that. So it is twofold, and we get a lot more of the compliments than we do the opposite. So
it's funny you say that, and the reason I even bring it up is because, you know, Matt at Streets, they obviously, you guys are Italian, okay? You specialize in Italian food.
Yeah.
A restaurant like his, he specializes in street foods from around the world.
Yeah.
The things that he makes are like the bread and butter of where they're from. So like, the people that are from there, you know, you better make it the right way or it's disrespectful. So I asked him the same question whenever I interviewed him, and he was like, oh yeah, he's like, we definitely have some people that are like, this ain't what it's like back where I'm from, you know, in my hometown. But he brought up the same way. He was like, but sometimes whenever you have people that are from there, they're like, this is even better. You're like, that's worth so much more.
Yep.
And it's cool to hear that.
It really is, because that's what keeps you going. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said, for us, it's a lot more of those people than the negative. So it's you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Absolutely. Man, you gotta go. I mean, it's a good place down there. I mean,
well,
like,
thank you. You got to come in and actually sit down and.
I will. I absolutely will. I there's so many places that I still got to go that like people have told me about that I still don't know, and I just got to make my way down there. I got 2 dogs now, so it's like I piggyback on that as an excuse where I'm just like, I got dogs, can't worry about it. But we'll make it down there. I implemented a rule for this year with my wife that once a month we're going to go to a nice restaurant, go out somewhere, and go to a class. This month we went to a bouquet making class. Okay, it was dope. It was kind of sick down at Phipps.
In Phipps, okay.
Yeah, I'm into flowers, so we're in there make some bouquets. It was
very
fun.
Cool. Very cool.
You know, had some restaurants, had some good food somewhere else. I can't remember where we went. I don't know. Okay, so did I miss anything about the restaurant?
I don't think so.
You ready for the gauntlet?
Sure.
All right. I do an ending segment with all my guests. It's called Desert Island Questions.
Okay.
All All right, desert island questions. Whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take on a desert island until you starve to death and die, and I add in a few extra questions whenever I think of them. First category, you get to pick 3 movies to take with you on a desert island. So I'll set you up. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to be like Tom Hanks on Castaway. I'm going to give you a little 12 by 12 college TV with an integrated DVD player. You get 3 DVDs that you'll have, until you die. Yep. What would they be? These are everyday movies you're watching every day of your life.
Training Day.
Oh, so good. King
Shawshank
Kong?
Redemption.
I have that's my favorite.
Law-abiding citizen is a good one.
That's a good one too.
That's
slept on. Gerard Butler.
Very slept on.
That's a slept on movie. When he stabs that dude in the neck with a T-bone, you're just like, whoa, didn't expect that to happen.
Expect that to happen, and now there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Been a minute since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Now, let me switch this to you.
Okay.
What are your favorite cooking scenes in movies? Like, do you have any that stick out to you? Obviously, I feel like Goodfellas is like, that's the most iconic, right?
Goodfellas is awesome when he's talking about don't burn the sauce and when they're cutting the garlic in the gel.
So it liquefies in there.
And it liquefies. And
it's not my favorite cooking scene, though.
No. Chef has a bunch of good ones.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It is.
I do.
John Favreau.
He's a good dude.
Yep.
He's a good dude.
Yep.
It's wild to me that he is like directing like The Lion King and all these like wild ass movies.
Right.
And you're like, this is the dude from The Replacements. That was just a lunatic. It's weird to see that.
He came far.
Yeah, he really did. It's like swingers and everything.
You don't even know what he did until you start reading his
if you go on his IMDb, it's insane how much shit that dude is involved.
That's what I mean. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know he did half of these things.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Let me come back to that one.
Go ahead. My favorite cooking scene, I think, of any movie of all time is Sam Rothstein in Casino with blueberry muffins.
Oh, everyone needs the same amount of blueberries.
I think that scene right there just like tells so much in such a little bit of time and he's wearing the most gangster suit of all time.
Yep.
And I feel like that whole scene right there is like one of the coolest scenes in any movie of all time.
Yep.
Insane.
So going back to the 3 movies, I do need to take one out. Law-abiding the citizen needs to come out, and The Godfather Part 1 needs to go in. The first Godfather.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, they're great.
I know everyone shuns me because like I'm a big movie guy. I enjoy them, but I need to get into it.
The first Godfather. I mean, Goodfellas is right up there. Casino. They're all fantastic.
What do you prefer, Goodfellas or Casino?
Goodfellas.
But
it's 1A and 1B.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty similar. The only thing, I think the only reason I love a casino vibe, like I love the vibe of being a casino, but the second half of Goodfellas ruins it for me. Like the manic, drug addict, gives me anxiety.
I was just going to say it's full of anxiety.
It is. When
that helicopter's chasing him.
Oh yeah. You're just like, ugh.
It's full of anxiety.
Were you a Sopranos fan?
I was, yeah. So I used to watch it, but it wasn't religiously. So I was, episode here, episode there.
Yeah.
And then me and my wife rewatched it during quarantine.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
I just finished it like 2 months ago. Never watched it before in my life.
Yeah.
Never knew the ending of it. I made it all that time without knowing the ending of it. What did you think of it?
The ending or everything?
The ending of it. Obviously, I'm sure you love the show, but what's the ending of it?
I go back and forth because I knew the ending before I saw it.
What did you think happened though? If you didn't know, because it can be interpreted both ways.
Right.
He either died or he either got away. What did you think of it?
I think he definitely got away.
Oh my God. I'm so happy you said it because everyone I've ever asked said he's definitely dead. Dude came out of the bathroom, snuffed him, and that's why it cut like that. But I was like, I think it's called This Is America, the title of the finale.
Right.
And I was like, I think Tony Soprano got away.
Right.
He made it through this spider web of shit, wading through all this mud, killing Christopher and all these. All spoilers. But
all spoilers.
If you ain't watched it yet, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's on you.
I was like, he got to get away. It's called This Is America. The bad guy always wins.
He was a good bad guy though, and I think. I don't know if that
he
even
was a
exists,
piece of shit.
But I think in the eyes of the audience, that's why I think he got away. because everybody loved him as kind of the character he was.
Yeah, I hated the endings. The last season ruined it for me because I lost so much respect for him whenever he became a degenerate gambler. I was like, there's no way that Tony Soprano mentally could get that low because he was such like a superior person before. Neither here nor there. Great show all around. I was happy to watch it. Imagine like that coming out whenever it did, and that being like, I mean, that had to be the first viral show. You know, that had to be the first one.
That was like 2004.
Yeah, I think it ended in 2004. So I think it started in like 98 or 99.
Right.
So
7 seasons. Yeah.
Wild. Really good.
Great show.
Did you watch the movie?
I didn't yet.
Me either. I heard a lot of bad things.
I did too. I heard. I can't repeat what somebody said, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's
it
fair.
Wasn't good.
I heard the same shit. Okay, so second category. This will be an interesting one. I usually ask people 3 books to take with you, but I'm going to throw something different at you. If you had to pick 3 different restaurants in the city that you love that you're not affiliated with, what would they be? Put you on the spot. Everyone's gonna be like, "You didn't say my restaurant."
Yeah,
you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Mola in East Liberty.
That's sushi place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
People have told me about that.
Bar Marco in the Strip.
I've never been there.
Another Italian place.
Okay.
Real good. And I love sushi, Japanese, but the third one's like a tie between 7. But I'd probably say Morcia.
Okay. You're another person that just told me about that.
Fantastic.
Another guy that I just had on, he picked it too. That's a place that I've never heard about, but until he literally just brought it up. Now you brought it up, so I'm gonna have to go.
You got to check it out.
I know, I gotta go.
All Spanish, small plates and tapas. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm always down to try all kinds of different shit.
Have you been to Mola?
No,
you gotta check Mola out.
I haven't been there. You know, I was a creature of habit for a while. You know, I've been trying to cross stuff off my bucket list. There's places that I like, and there's places that I've been underwhelmed by that people just like blow up. But I like going to different places. We went to Monterey Bay the other day.
Oh yeah.
I went there for a wedding before, and the food was great. And then we went there again because we had a gift card, and it was great. Like we had good food there. It was a good time. It's cool to sit there and eat while they're
watch.
Yeah, while you're looking at the city at night. Can't beat that.
No. I used to live on the 3rd floor of that, so I'd be up there at the bar.
Really?
Having some drinks and appetizers a lot.
That's probably a cool spot up there to
It is.
live.
Yeah.
You had a window to see out?
We had a deck, and you could see like the corner of one building, literally the corner of one building.
I got a city view.
Yeah. I think the 4th floor was perfect views because the house or the apartment complex next to us ended after floor 3.
Yeah,
but that's why we rented the space we did, because the rent was probably half the price as floor 4.
That's a good point. Okay, 3rd category. You get to pick 3 CDs. Ooh. Are you a music guy?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy all music. There's not one that
these are these are the only CDs you get for the rest of your life.
What if one's a double CD?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I'd even let you take a discography. People pull the good card. They pull a veteran move, and they always pick greatest hits, which is a smart move.
Yeah.
But if you could narrow down some CDs.
I'm just terrible with names of CDs.
That's fine. Who's the artist?
So anything by the Rolling Stones.
That's good.
To throw some hip hop in there, All Eyes on Me by Tupac. And pretty much anything by Billy Joel.
Oh, wow.
Songs in the Attic.
Yeah, Billy Joel. A talent.
I love me some Billy Joel.
Yeah. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so third to last question is actually, before we get to that, I'm curious. I feel like I would be a terrible person, a terrible Pittsburgher if I didn't ask the hard questions. But what do you think about all these condos being built in the Strip?
Well, I mean, they're great for business. They're great for us. They're great for people coming down to the Strip.
Let me ask you. Do you think people are going to move down there and live there?
Yeah.
In 15 different apartment buildings down there?
Well, the ones that are already
The nice ones.
the ones that are already built and are full. So I don't.
Are they full already?
They're pretty close. Yeah,
Jesus.
they're pretty close. I don't know. I mean, they just keep building them. So
That's what I mean. It's almost too much.
I would agree with you, but I think that the people that are building them have to have some knowledge that yes, people are going to move in. Now I don't know if they'll get the price that they want for them. Some of these are just outrageous.
Outrageous.
1.6 million for
like
a couple.
a room and a half.
For 2,500 square feet or something crazy.
Way less than that.
It's-
I swear
it's
the one was
insane.
1,400 that I saw, and it was like a crazy amount.
Yeah, I mean you can get a mansion.
I know
out
that
in the suburbs.
I know that, like, you know, the people of Pittsburgh that are not, obviously you're a business owner, it's going to be good for you because, you know, you're a great place down there. People could obviously go and frequent it, but it's getting overdone, I feel.
Well, I'm just worried about the bubble bursting and what happens at that point because they seem to be just building and building and building. But if people aren't going to move in, well, then
They're just going to be,
prices is going to drop instead of, go up. So
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that, but I think right now we're in a good spot. I'm very excited for the one right next to Pane, Pronto, because, I think there's going to be 30 or so condos in there, and
Yeah.
we're the place right next to them for coffee and pastries. So
yeah, you can't beat that. What's up with your
Can't
coffee?
beat
Are
that.
you a coffee guy?
I am. I love coffee. So they're twofold. At Pane Pronto, we just bought in Eatery coffee from Shady Side
Okay.
to do the coffee program. And at DiAnoia's, we use Counterculture out of North Carolina right now.
Nice.
Both fantastic products, totally different. DiAnoia's, we have adult coffee drinks because we have a liquor license.
Yeah.
But Eatery coffee, their beans, he roasts them in-house in Shady Side. They're just fantastic.
Yeah, it's
he does
different-
a really good job.
Yeah, it's different. Counterculture is a little light for me. They're usually more of a lighter roast.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you a lighter, fruitier note guy?
No, I try and be more of a Italian roast, which is a little darker.
Yeah.
But Counterculture is just a hair lighter.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. Still good though. Definitely
Yeah.
a flavorful product. I love coffee. Very good.
Yep.
Okay, so third to last question. That's it. Okay, death row meal. So we're gonna have two versions of the death row meal. The first one is I need to know if you were, what is your favorite? If you had to pick a meal just at your restaurant, appetizer, main course, dessert,
Yeah.
what would it be?
At my restaurant,
Your favorite?
it would be the escarole beans and sausage, greens and beans.
I love it. Greens and beans.
It would be. I'm going to pick things that have always been on the menu. So the gnocchi and meatballs.
These are
And
your personal favorite?
my personal favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll even go entree because that's a separate category, and do the whole bronzino, whole fish,
Okay.
roasted, crispy skin,
Oh, that sounds real good.
and then
I've never had that.
The assorted Italian cookies to finish is definitely the way to go.
I had that with the porchetta meal. That was delicious. I love Italian cookies.
Yeah, they're good.
Can't
The
beat it.
pignolis are to die for.
You can't beat it.
No.
Okay, now if you were to not just pick something at your restaurant, but this is your last, your last meal, getting put to death.
Yep.
Like any of them people in Shawshank, what would your last meal be?
Sushi, hands down.
Really?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite sushi?
Mola.
I mean, like
East
what
Liberty,
kind?
But
Like
I do all nigiri, so just the
Okay,
rice with the fish on top.
legitimate ones.
Salmon belly, hamachi, uni, ikoro, which is salmon roe,
yeah. You're big into it.
salmon.
Wow.
Honestly, any type of sushi. I love it.
All right,
So
that's fair. What
Yeah.
about a dessert? You a dessert
never,
guy?
not really.
Dorian.
Not really.
Dorian would get you.
He would get me. Yeah, he would. He would. Tomorrow
Shout out
he's
to
gonna. Yeah, shout out to Dorian.
How'd you get linked up with him?
My wife actually got it. Contacted him on Instagram, and it was a Christmas present for me two years ago.
2 years you've been working with him.
2 years. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He is a great guy. Shout out
Yep.
Dorian Robinson.
Yep.
You're looking for a personal trainer, holler at him. I got to get him on here and talk to him.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I grew up with him. He's known me since I was a very young boy.
that's what he said.
Since I had a bowl cut and Harry Potter glasses.
And that's honestly that's why I'm here today, because he was talking about you, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to get back to him. I totally forgot he
I appreciate
Instagrammed
that.
me, and it's
I appreciate
it's
that.
Definitely him reminding me.
Oh yeah, if it's meant to be, it's meant
Yep.
to be.
Yep.
I'm a big person. I'm a big believer in manifestation.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I was working on Seven Springs for a minute. Just got them.
Nice.
We're crossing them off the list.
Love it.
Crossing
Love
them
it.
off the list.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Yeah. Dessert.
It would probably be some sort of cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Cookie guy.
Yeah,
I like some cookies.
I like a little sweet after dinner drink.
Yeah.
Whether it's sweet or an amaro or something digestif, and then just something to nibble on.
Yeah.
I don't like the the big plates of dessert or ice cream, or I don't really get into it. So
Yeah. Just a little here and there.
just a little here and there. Yep.
There you go. I like that.
Yep.
Okay, second to last question, probably the most telling question. Who did you vote for? No, I'm just kidding. What is your snack of choice? If you're going on a road trip,
Doritos.
Doritos, your
Hands
Doritos?
down. Yep.
Man, Doritos, you can't beat them.
No, my wife almost cut me off from Doritos. She goes, "What do you want from Costco?" I said, "I don't care. Just get me Doritos." And she said, "No, you can't have them."
You have the 3D Doritos? Are you a 3D Dorito fan?
You know what?
They're not good.
They're not good, and they're bugles.
Yeah, they're
That's
literally
all they
bugles.
are.
They're bugles.
They should get sued for that.
They are 100% bugles. The Dorito seasoning on 3D Doritos is not the same
Nope.
as a regular Dorito.
Nope, you're right, and it tasted exactly like a bugle.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Are you a fan of the brothers and sisters of regular Doritos? The sweet chili and like the Cool Ranch or anything? Or are you just
So
plain and simple?
nacho cheese and Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Those are my two go-to.
Yeah, I don't really mess with the rest of the other ones.
No, they're either some are too spicy and
It's
and
just
I
too
like
much.
spicy.
Kinda.
Yeah,
It's too much.
Yep.
Oh my god! Don't let me forget. I got handmade hot sauce by yours truly for you.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I can't forget. I forgot
Yep.
the last person. Okay, last question. If you could have a conversation with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Interesting.
Could be real, could be fake. Doesn't matter.
I might go Massimo Bottoro.
He's the chef, right?
He's the chef from Italy.
Chunky guy.
No, skinny.
Is it?
He's the one in Modena.
Does he have red hair?
No.
I'm thinking of someone else then.
He's
Okay.
just we ate there for our honeymoon. He came out and said hello, so we really didn't have a conversation, but
Yeah.
it was just, at one point.
Is he like a celebrity type person?
He is. He is.
Okay, yeah.
He's really famous in the culinary world.
Sorry, Mossman, I didn't know you.
It's all good.
just kidding. You can listen
He's
to
on.
this.
He's on a lot of those shows, Chef's Table and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
But he came. It was a Tuesday night. We were at his restaurant, and I had zero expectation of him being there. Just
Yeah.
because he's as big as he was. They just won best restaurant in the world, and
What's his restaurant called?
Osteria Francescana in Modena,
Jesus.
and
Wow. In the world.
in the world.
Wow.
In the world in 2015.
How good was the food?
It was awesome. Awesome.
Now, you don't have to answer if you don't want. How much does it cost? Was it outrageous?
It was outrageous. Yeah.
Okay.
It was it was
That's
very
fair.
expensive.
You
meal.
can leave it at
very
that.
expensive meal.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just curious about that. It
Yeah.
was I know that some of the places are it's experience.
It's and that's it. It's an experience. But he's so creative, and what he does with food is just fascinating. So I definitely want to talk to him.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Obviously, it's fitting for you.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You went to Italy for your honeymoon?
Yeah.
How was that? Was that the first time you ever been out there?
No, it was at the time either the second or the third.
And now, for you as an Italian chef, do you go out there for research?
Yes.
And like,
Yep.
obviously you gain a good bit from over there.
100%. Yeah, we go over, we see what they're doing.
Yeah.
We see the style of the restaurants and everything that's kind of the hit, new thing in Italy, and try and bring it back here in certain ways. Not exactly, but in certain ways of what we like with all the restaurants we go to. So
Yeah, take your own inspiration from it and add it to yourself.
Yep. Our restaurant's very white walls and high, the lights are up high, and it's very, very different than a lot of other restaurants, especially Italian, that are dim lights, dark walls, no windows, and that's not our style. We want an uppity vibe. Like I said, the white walls, the different color of like the Murano glass themes and things like that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Now the name of the restaurant, DiAnoia's. Your name is Dave Anoia.
Yep.
It's not?
No, it is. Yeah, my name's Dave Anoia. Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not D from my name. It's
What's it from? How's
my
that?
wife's DeAndrea.
Ah.
So it's the DI from her name along with my name, and we put them together.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
I like that. I was curious because I assumed before, the reason I even came across your page is because Dorian was tagging you while you were doing burpees.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw,
I bet that looked great.
I saw Dave Anoia and I clicked on you and creeped on you and I found out who you were. I was like, yo, put your name in my ear, put his name in my ear. But I didn't understand how it, like, I didn't understand the story behind it, but that's cool.
So going through the whole thing, we had a lot of different names for the restaurant, and we thought that was the best fitting name. If we combine the two, it tells a story. It tells who we are as owners.
Sounds great.
And it's a little more Italian than just Anoia.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yep.
I'm excited to come down. I appreciate you coming
absolutely.
over.
This was awesome.
Great time. I had
Thank
a great
you.
time.
Me too.
Was this what you expected?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know what to expect.
Well, that's good. Did you listen to any episodes beforehand?
I didn't.
That's good.
I briefly listened to Adam's. He sent me a little bit, and I briefly listened to some of it, but I didn't listen to the whole thing.
I love hearing that because it's like I like when people come in and they don't know what they're getting into.
That's exactly why I did it. I didn't want to think that you were going to ask the same questions, or are they going to be different. Just wanted to go in with a free spirit mind, and whatever you ask, just tell you what you want to hear.
I love that. It's good stuff. Take a second, please promote everything you can right now.
Awesome.
All your pages, where people could find you.
Come see us at DiAnoia's down in the Strip, our sister restaurant Pane, Pronto, and Pizzeria Davide in the Strip. Pizzeria Davide also in Carnegie and Robinson. DiAnoia's Eatery, www.DiAnoia'sEatery.com. You can get any merch you want on there. You can get any tickets to events that we're doing, everything on there. And then come get some bread at Pane Pronto. It's very exciting, very good food down there. And then we got Aravis coffee in there. So come support us all.
Absolutely. Everyone else that's listening, appreciate it as usual. Another great guest, another one next week. But thanks for listening. Call you right back.